AI is impacting a lot of people, but if you're an accountant, you're probably like, still waiting. Because for most accountants, it hasn't changed much about how we work yet, but that's probably about to change. As we run through the 15 AI apps for accountants that I think you need to see. A number of these, they're gonna surprise you, and I'm not exaggerating when I say that if you are not doing the things we talk about in this video, the accountant across the hall, once they do, man, you're gonna be falling behind. And that's not hyperbole. I probably wouldn't have said that last year. 2025, it's looking different. Let's get into it. My name's Jason. I last ran an accounting firm of 40 people. Now I help accountants around the world get productive with AI. And we're gonna look at several categories of apps. First, we're looking at 5 AI apps that if you use these, you're gonna impress your boss. 2 AI apps that may just help you become the boss. I'll explain that. And last, 8 more AI apps that, I don't wanna spoil that yet. You'll see, it's pretty cool. First off, let's start in the accounts payable department because it's the part of accounting that is most quickly being disrupted by AI. 2 accounts payable tools. The first may surprise you, it's Ramp. Ramp started as a spend management tool. The biggest benefit of it for accountants is it automates all the chasing of people for information. Yeah, that's not AI. Hang on, Ramp's a really good example of what was already a great app being made better with AI. And one of the ways it's been made better is they've now got a killer new bill pay implementation, and it's free. They've honestly done a really good job with this bill pay implementation, but if you have more complex accounts payable needs, check this one out, Makers Hub. These guys were using AI vision models and large language models from day one. And what Makers Hub excels at is the hairy stuff. If you're dealing with receiving, inventory management, ugly stuff like that, this is the one for you. In fact, back when I was running my accounting firm, I genuinely had clients with like full-time in-house accountants where Makers Hub could have automated a good 80% of that work. And the reason why AP is actually being most impacted is it's one of only a few things in accounting that are actually deterministic. They're not subjective. There's a right and a wrong answer. While outsiders, people that don't do accounting, they seem to think that all accounting things work this way. Well, they're all deterministic, right? A lot of accounting is actually pretty subjective, which is why we haven't seen more AI disruption in our space yet. Okay, next tool, I'm in love with this one. ChatGPT Deep Research. You didn't think we were gonna get through this video without talking about ChatGPT, right? It is like 30 apps built into one, but calling Deep Research research, it's awful marketing. Because while I can go out and pull a bunch of stuff from the web and solve hard problems, it can also run on your spreadsheets. I know, and in the testing I've done with it, it actually comes back with some pretty novel insights. Like, just try running it on some data that you've got. Give it a more open-ended task, like come up with some insights. Or even give it 2 versions, like here's the beginning state of the data and the end state of the data. Help me figure out how to automate getting it from A to B. The power here is the flexibility of all the things that it can do for you. It can serve as an advisor, an automation expert, whatever it is that you need. Not putting my company data in AI, nope. And there's still a lot of outdated information swirling around about AI security. But the good news is there are completely secure ways to use ChatGPT now. The right answer for most businesses is the ChatGPT team plan. Your prompts are never trained into the models, come standard with SOC2 Type 2 security, which is frankly more secure than a lot of other apps. Okay, up next, a tool called Guide for building process documentation. Bored. No. This one's for all you 3-ring binder accountants out there with like the janky screenshots organized in a Word file. Yeah, Guide, it's that, but generated with AI. Basically, all you do is you hit record, you do all of the steps, and it builds all of that process documentation for you automatically. They've got a browser-only version. It's a Chrome extension. You can try that out for free, but for business use cases, you probably want this $35 a month version. It comes with 5 seats, better security, and works across any app on your desktop or browser. That's not accounting, big guy. Okay, here's a more technical one for you. ChatGPT Data Analysis. Here's a CSV I've got of 1,000 transactions. It's got amounts, dates, people's names, company names. I'm gonna chuck that into ChatGPT. Do this on the ChatGPT team plan. I got no qualms about security on that one. I chuck that into ChatGPT and I'm gonna say do 3 things with it. 1, combine all transactions by date. This is just for the month of March and there's 1,000 transactions, so a lot happening on the same days. I want 1 combined record per day with the amount field being the sum of all that day's transactions. 2, on that single date record, keep the name of the company with the highest total amount on that day and put it in a new field. 3, sort by the updated amount field in descending order. Wouldn't it? Sidebar, wouldn't it be nice if you could do this sort of thing with I don't know, the AI assistant built directly into Excel? You know what I'm talking about, but look at this. Data looks totally fine, did all the things that I asked it to do. Now, next step would be like, prove to me that this is the correct answer. I do some checking, and you can actually like ask AI to prove that answer to you. But honestly, like the hardest thing about this, the whole notion of using Python code on your data, is it's not something we've ever been able to do before unless you were a Python nerd. But you can now, and as a result, you may not even know how to use that yet. And that's actually a big theme of this video. More on that in a bit. Now, a tricky thing about accounting roles is we're usually working across a bunch of different tools, having to pull all that data together. And some of these tools are now building their own little AI assistants, but those assistants don't talk to each other in the different apps. And the last thing I wanna go do is like talk with all these different disparate assistants that are all named after American Gladiators characters, which is why I'm extremely excited for tech like ChatGPT Operator. Agents that can work across different apps, not just one app, work across all my apps to do my bidding the same way that a human user would. But unfortunately right now, ChatGPT Operator, it only works in a web browser, is dumb as a doornail, and slower than the new intern. So until AI agents get really good, incoming hot take here, I would argue the biggest change AI enables for most accountants is unlocking new spreadsheet skills. Specifically writing code for your spreadsheets. I'm out. Wait, hear me out. Two tools, or actually two types of tools, I guess 4 tools. Just wait and see. I wanna show you these because they may very well make you into the boss and put a whole lot of your work on autopilot. First, let's talk about Google Apps Script and Office scripts. I truly believe this. In 2025, this spreadsheet, it is often still the best way to bring all the data from disparate systems into a single place. And regardless of whether you use Google Sheets or you're a Microsoftie, both platforms let you write and run code on your spreadsheet. Similar to what Excel macros could do, but a little bit more powerful. And ChatGPT is now capable of writing flawless code for these platforms. How am I even gonna use that? Exactly, we just gotta open our minds a bit here. You could do something like we just did with Data Analyst. Reformat a bunch of data in a single click. We can also do things like trigger scripts to run automatically anytime data is added to a sheet. You can create entirely custom functions, custom menus, custom little side panels that live alongside your spreadsheet. And the biggest trap here, it is trying to come up with these ideas yourself. Well, how would I even use that? The reality is you don't know because you haven't played with those tools before. It's not your fault the ideas don't just start flowing. And so the way to approach this is to simply ask ChatGPT. Explain your workflow. Say, how could I improve this with a Google Apps script or an Office script? And buddy, it will take you down a wild path. And it's where you begin to realize that there's some like exponential opportunities here that will make you so much higher output than you were before. And for many people, this ends up being a gateway drug to custom workflow builders. Here are 2 of them, Lindy and Gumloop. If you've ever used Zapier or Make or N8N, these tools are like that, but simplified a little bit with sort of AI-driven decision-making built in. Remember when I said you could create scripts in your spreadsheets that would automatically run when new data was added? These tools let you control the flow of data through multiple systems. And you can even use AI to automate a bit of the decision-making along the way. Like, if there's over 1,000 transactions, do this different thing. If the output of that script meets certain criteria, go down and follow this different kind of sequence of steps. I know. I talked recently on my podcast with Nicholas Boucher, who's kind of leading the way with AI adoption for CFOs. And where CFOs are having the biggest wins today is using AI to write code to automate for them what they once did manually. These are not programmers. These are regular old CFO, finance, accounting nerds like us. You use AI to write the code for the manual stuff you once did, and then build them into these workflows that can start to run on their own. I know, big time nerd stuff, but the future of accounting isn't classifying transactions or chasing people for documents. And here's the thing, you have at your disposal the most powerful tutor of all time with infinite patience for our dumb questions of how to even begin doing this stuff, how to write your first Office script or even an Excel macro if you're still hustling desktop. And before you know it, it really doesn't take that long. You learn a little bit of this and all of a sudden you're now the most productive person on your team, and it isn't even close. And what becomes then, what is the right thing to do at that point? When you're just like off the charts productive, let you in on a secret, is to go be an accountant for a bunch of businesses. I'm talking about rolling your own wee little accounting firm. And that's actually what we talk about on this channel. It is easier than you think to start your own firm. And the last 8 AI tools I'm going to show you are gonna make it easier for you to do just that, roll your own little firm. And the very first piece of tech you need in an accounting firm, it's your practice management system like this one from today's sponsor, Canopy. Roll the music. Canopy, it's your firm-wide operating system and handles everything from tracking projects to getting paid, and even comes with some pretty cool built-in AI of its own. Because running your own firm, it very quickly becomes a mess of emailing your clients all day and not knowing what to work on next. And then when, God forbid, you add a couple of people to your squad, it's just, that gets to be a real mess. And where most firms start is trying to manage all that stuff in a spreadsheet, but that falls apart real fast. Because I want my clients to be able to log into a modern portal, send me the goodies that I need. They even get a little mobile app where they can pay me or do e-signatures or ignore my messages. It's the most important software purchase your firm will make, your practice management system. And it takes a lot of the fear out of running an accounting firm because now you can systematize your work on a platform that's used by thousands of other firms. Canopy is one of the most complete platforms in the game. Learn more about them via the link down in the video description. So let's get into the AI tools that are helping accountants run stupidly profitable little firms. Check this one out, Digits, the world's first autonomous bookkeeping platform. Yeah, right. Yeah, not quite, and it's still very early days for Digits, but it's a big splashy AI company that just shipped the first, really AI first general ledger product. And while most accounting firms are still running their clients' books on QuickBooks Online or Xero, and that may even still be advisable, the best platforms for firms right now, there's a growing number of AI-enabled accounting ledgers shipping some really cool stuff. Couple other examples, Campfire and Puzzle, and whether they ultimately unseat the champs, QuickBooks or Xero, all this competition, you know who it's great for? You and I, the people running firms. When the tools get better, our firms get better, the work gets more profitable, and it makes it an even better time to run your own little accounting firm. Check this one out. Expert just launched in the US last year, and it does a number of things, from automated file reviews to ensure that the data is correct, to workflow management, to this, which I love, an AI-driven alert system where you can create flags to be notified of things going on in your client's accounting files. And you just create these with prompts, almost like you're prompting ChatGPT. We're going fast now. Here's an AI platform for firms that's gonna make you look smart. Aider. Basically, you connect it to all your clients' accounting files. This view right here, I love. It automatically flags advisory opportunities in like a single unified dashboard for all my clients. I then reach out to my clients, take credit for the idea, and then I charge them for it. Hell of a grift. Aider's also doing some cool, more open-ended prompting, kind of like ChatGPT for your clients' accounting files. And if you end up going down the route of doing tax work, got some tools that can help you with that too. Now, in the US, the software that's available to us for preparing tax returns, like preparing the forms, it super sucks. I can't help you there. It's all legacy stuff and the industry needs way more modernized tax prep tools. But the tools around prepping the return, they've gotten much better. On the intake side, where you gather information from clients, two really good options here are Soroban and Stanford Tax. Basically, they look at the prior year tax return, make a list of all the stuff it looks like the client would need to give you this year, and then it hounds the clients relentlessly until they submit it so you don't have to. On the tax research side, two companies doing interesting stuff here, TaxGPT and BlueJay. They're both AI-first research platforms, kind of like ChatGPT, but with authoritative tax literature behind them. Now, once you got this big successful firm humming right along, you better start tracking time. You get your timesheet in yet? There's an AI for that too. Check this out, Laurel. Because you're bad at tracking your time, because as a thing to do, it kind of sucks. And Laurel's gonna try to make that as painless as possible for you. So whether you run an accounting firm today or you're just trying to out-hustle the accountant in the cubicle next to you, with a bit of a mental shift, AI can enable some really cool new workflow automation. And honestly, the app still at the center of it all, it's ChatGPT. But 95% of accountants, they still don't even know the right ways to use it, which is why you gotta watch this video breaking down the most important ChatGPT features for accountants.